Hello, and welcome to Next Up with Naming St. Louis. I'm your host, Will Houston. I'm the Marketing and Technology Chair of Naming St. Louis. And on this podcast, we're here to explore the stories, experiences, and insights of dynamic professionals making strides in their careers. We'll be speaking with those who are on a journey of growth and advancement, rising stars who are not yet vice presidents but are making real impacts in their fields. Our goal is to inspire, inform, and connect you with incredible talent shaping the future of the communications industry. Thank you for joining us today. Let's introduce our next guest. On this episode of Next Up with Naming St. Louis, I'll be speaking with DeeJay Tolbert. DeeJay is a lead sales operations specialist for a large telecommunications company. DeeJay's job is to assist with monitoring complex sales orders and revenue verification by mitigating financial risk and ensuring the efficiency of the orders. She has a considerable experience in the telecommunications field over the last 7 years. DeeJay is eager to master various concepts and share her insights. She often extends her expertise to various boundary partners, capitalizing on her strength and ability to work well within teams and group settings. DeeJay also brings these gifts to the leadership team of Naming St. Louis as the chair of programming. This is our conversation. All right, DeeJay Tolbert, thank you for joining us today on Next Up with Naming St. Louis. How you doing today?
Thanks for having me, and I'm pretty good. What about yourself?
Doing pretty good. I'm glad to have you on. Just to get started, can you just tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. Well, my name is DeeJay Tolbert, of course. I guess I am currently a lead sales operations specialist. I've been in the field or industry for about 7, kind of going on 8 years this year. Yeah, and I'm just happy to be here. Happy to have a conversation with you.
Absolutely. Same here. I've been excited about this one. I know we've been getting some of the naming leadership team, and I've been excited to have a conversation with you, and we've gotten a few other people on. So I think we'll have a good conversation. You're in the telecommunications industry. So can you tell me a little bit, just to kind of get started, can you tell me a little bit about how you got involved in telecommunications? Kind of where did this journey start for you?
Sure. So it was probably back in 2017. My first role within the telecom field, it was working with internet and phone repair. So we're doing a lot of troubleshooting for residential customers, trying to understand issues they were having with their services, making sure that they got the proper resolution, and things of that sort. So that was pretty cool, a nice, I guess you can say, entrance into the telecoms field. I learned a lot about just internet connectivity in general and what that exactly means. A lot of people hear internet, Wi-Fi, they use them interchangeably. They don't really know the background and basis of them both and how everything works. So it's pretty interesting to kind of learn that particular piece, and again, kind of what all goes into it, how it works, and then how to fix it. I thought that was pretty nice. So
Right, absolutely. Actually, I actually started in the same place doing internet and phone repair. Yeah, it's not for the faint of heart. It's not for the faint of heart.
It's not.
Yep. But it does teach you a lot. It does teach you a lot, I think. It taught me a lot about myself, right? I mean, you gotta have some patience. You gotta kind of be interested in what you're doing. And so can you tell me a little bit about if you told me a little bit about where you started in the field, but can you tell me about some of the things that you picked up being in that particular role? It may be things that you took from that role that still apply to you today.
Absolutely. So I think you hit it dead on. I think patience for sure.
Yeah.
Just people skills, being able to kind of talk with different kind of people and being able to get to them. I'm also a resolutionist, so I like problem solving. I like figuring out what's the issue, how to resolve it, and I think that can be carried throughout life, right?
Yes.
Identifying the issue, figuring out again which avenue, which way to kind of get to this particular result or that particular result, and then again just the end game. So definitely that, and I think the role was pretty goal oriented too. Not again, I'm a competitor too, so if I got a metric or I got a number or something I have to meet, I'm always looking to exceed or figuring out what I need to do to exceed it and then to exceed that number. So I like that aspect too.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm
full disclosure, I know you, right? And so
Right.
everybody out here may not know you as that, right? But I do know you as a competitor, right? Like you
For
want to
sure.
be you want to be the best at what you do, right? And that's, I like just hearing you say that, it's like, yeah, absolutely. And you can see, coming from the metrics piece, right? You have FCR and all those different things, and having those
Yeah.
metrics to coming along into your role now, right? Where it's like, I'm still pushing to be the best at what I do, right? And it shows, right? Because you're excelling at what you do. So I just want to throw that out there. It's like, yeah, she's not joking. That's for real.
Yeah.
That's for
1,000%.
good, good, good. Okay, yeah. So yeah, so in that case, can we talk a little bit about your kind of career pathway? Just you started off, like you said, entry level, and
Hmm.
you've kind of moved through, and you work in resolutions now, and you're on the sales side, if I'm correct, right? Kind of on the
Correct. Correct.
can,
So, yep.
yeah.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was gonna say, can you tell me a little bit about that? Kind of step by step, kind of how you got there, and then maybe even throw in some of the transitions and milestones that you hit to kind of get to where you are now.
Sure. So I think, well, first again, being over like in the repair side, you can still kind of learning, getting your feet wet, right?
Mhm.
And then with the particular company, it was kind of so many different ways, we could go, right?
Yeah.
So I think at a certain point, you kind of master the current role. You kind of still, me hungry for more, right? Looking to kind of see what else I can do, what else I can master. So I, to be honest, I never was never in a sales field. Couldn't have told you anything about it, about how it works, what it entails, how to support, or any of those things. So again, it just me diving in, wanting to learn something new, being eager to learn. And then once I get a handle on something, at that point it's really game over for me. So
Right, right.
so it's kind of just really transitioning like that way, like again, mastering everything there and then trying to figure out, what I wanted to do next, identifying another a role that may have been a challenge to me. So, me, I'm going to take it head on.
Mhm.
And then I decided to just do just that. And then
Absolutely.
now I'm just in the space where, of course, I'm still learning, still excelling, still networking, which is great. It's a
Yeah.
good part about the role too. It's a lot of different, again, people you can learn from who has more experience than you, right? And I'm always looking to just soak up anything that I can from anybody. I'm a walking sponge, really.
Good, good. That's the way to be. That's the way to be. And I definitely can relate, right? So there you get that sort of ultimatum when you're in the internet and phone repair, right? Especially if you're doing well,
Mm.
right? Now you can sit there and do that for a long time.
Oh
But
yeah.
but if you're doing well, they kind of say, okay, this person can kind of progress. And they kind of tell you, do you want to go into the technical side? Do you want to go
Hmm. Hmm.
into the leadership side? Do you want to
Hmm.
maybe
Hmm.
delve off and see what other things you can do? So did you go straight from internet and phone to sales, or were there any steps in between there?
Well, no, I really transitioned right from internet repair to sales.
Hmm.
And then of course from sales, then I was able to obtain a leadership role still within, of course, the sales scope.
Right.
So it kind of went just like that. And I think within the leadership piece, I always had that drive, that knack
Hmm.
for that. Always wanted to again be able to lead, be able to kind of teach, coach, and train.
Hmm.
And so I kind of went to sales, hopped right in again, tried to learn everything that I could possibly learn. So I wanted to get hands on the complex things. I wanted to ask all the questions. I kind of wanted to be in the mix and all the conversations about the various of things. That way, just building my brand, building up my inventory within me. And then I was able to go ahead and obtain that leadership role just based on that particular skill set and that mindset.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. And as I mentioned before, right, anybody who kind of knows your brand, right?
Yeah,
Can you tell me a little bit about some of the things you did to actually build that brand up, right? Of course, you mentioned kind of being in the mix, but can you kind of give some specifics, just kind of for some of those people listening who kind of want to help do that, or who want to do that in their own lives? Can you give some of those tips on how you kind of help to build your brand?
absolutely. I think first things first. I think it's a mindset thing. Like I'm a positive person. If you know me, I think you know that, and I
Mhm.
think that kind of plays a major part in whatever you do. Like you mentioned earlier, you want to kind of enjoy what you do. And I like to have fun while working hard. So
Right.
I think just kind of again being positive, being open. I've always been able to adapt. So I've always been like a chameleon in a sense. And so playing my part, whichever piece of the puzzle that I am, again, just being able to kind of shape and shift to be that for whatever the case may be. Um, I'm also a good team player too. So again, I know sometimes it may take more than one person to get to a proper resolution, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay
Right.
with being able to network with my counterpart, and again have a meeting, talk about some things, figure out some process, maybe figure out a way to be innovative, and create something else that maybe helps the business needs or something like that. So I think it's a lot about all of that, but really, mindset is a big thing for me. You
Mhm.
got to go in with a good mind and a good positive mind to have a good outcome to me.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Agree 100% with that. I agree. I fully do. And yeah, to your point, right? Positivity, right? If you go into it with a positive mindset, then,
Mm-hmm.
there's kind of no limits to what you can do. But if you kind of go into it saying, oh, well, I'm probably not gonna stick around and do this, or,
Mm-hmm.
this
Mm-hmm.
isn't really what I'm trying to do. And I mean, that's probably what's gonna happen, but you just never know
Yep,
where it might take you. So I think you hit on some good points there for sure.
for sure. Thank you.
So we talked about some milestones. We talked about some transitions as far as, just kind of building up your brand and moving from, the repair piece to sales and then sales leadership. Can you tell me a little bit about some of the challenges you might have faced, right? I'm sure, throughout the process it wasn't all sunshine and rainbows. Now your mindset, right,
Right.
can make it seem like that, but I'm sure you
Exactly.
probably ran into some into some challenges along the way. So can you tell us a little bit about that?
Absolutely. For me, I've always wanted I like instant success.
Yeah.
So if I'm met with anything that's brand new,
Mhm.
I believe and I want, to be able to master that probably within 5 seconds, really,
Right.
really, really early on. I don't like really like the time period in
Mhm.
between of having to again grasp the concepts and got to keep kind of going at it, going at it, going at it. And I will,
Yeah.
of course
Oh
with a
yeah.
smile on my face, but
Right.
I like to be a master up front already. So
Mhm.
that was really, really, a challenge for me, just kind of coming again, transitioning from troubleshooting and repair to a completely different space that I, had no any background on or knew anything about.
Mhm.
So I had to allow myself to be new, to be a student, and
Right.
again be able to like sit back and say, okay, DeeJay, it's okay. You may not have all the answers right now today, but you will.
Right.
So it's that constant pep talk within me that kind of really helped me through that. And I think with the leadership space, it was kind of like identifying what kind of leader you wanted to be, right?
Mhm.
So you go through different spaces, different roles, seeing different people, different interactions. So then you kind of just start wondering and start building your perfect person, I guess you can say in your head, like, okay, well, what would you want that to look like? What do
Right.
you want a leader for you to look like? So there was also, I guess we could say like an opportunity or a challenge, just kind of identifying that and then how to be that for, all the people that you will lead, right? Because
Right.
everybody needs a different kind of leader. You may have to you have to tweak it according
Yeah.
to your audience, right? So
Absolutely.
I think those are two pieces for me. Loved every bit of it though. It's the story, right?
Absolutely.
It speaks to the whole journey. So I love
Exactly.
every piece of it.
Exactly. No, I'm 100% with you there. I'm the same way. It's because I, I don't. It took me a while to get here, right? Like to where it's
Yeah.
like, hearing people say it, like you got to be really bad at something before you can be really good at it, right? And
Mm-hmm.
but no, I'm like, hey, listen, I started this job 6 months ago. Where are the management positions? Because
Hello.
that's where I need to be, right? And so I'm definitely along that same path. And when you first hit that first wall, it's like, oh, what is this, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But it definitely took some pep talks from outside and inside for me to
Mm-hmm.
realize, okay, first you got to be
Yeah.
bad at it, then you
Yep.
get good at it.
Stay the course. Yeah,
That
stay the
right,
course.
right, absolutely, absolutely. That's good. That's good. All right. So, and with that being the case, so now you're here, right?
Yeah.
You're doing your thing. You're kind of excelling your roles. You're, making strides toward probably what the next step is too, right? So, with that being the case, kind of what's a typical day to day for you? What are some of your tasks and responsibilities? What's a day in the life of DJ look like?
Well, a day of life of me. So first, wake up, right?
Mhm.
On a good day, I may be able to have iced white chocolate,
Okay.
mocha from Starbucks. But hey,
Yeah. Right.
But yeah, on regular standard day, get into work, and then typically I like to think about and kind of plan ahead in a sense. So I think about my next day the day before.
Mm,
So I kind of go into the next day with already a little bit of what I know I need to do or what's required of me. Kind of get in, double check emails, see what type of escalation that I may need to handle, de-escalate. Um, what kind of complex requests may need my assistance or that I need to provide a resolution on. And then again, just kind of assisting with frontline, making sure that they're operating efficiently as they can. And it's really really that just making sure we're putting the front line in the best position that they can be, essentially, while kind of manning things on the back end.
right, right. Absolutely, absolutely. And so, as a leader, uh, kind of, like you said, you get up and you're kind of getting ready for your day and things like that.
Hmm.
What is like an ideal day for you in that sense, right? I know you talked about that drink from Starbucks, right? But let's say like everything's going great. You got your Starbucks drink. You're headed into the office, and everything's clicking on all cylinders. What does that look like from a leadership perspective with your team? How are things clicking throughout the day?
Sure. So walking in, everybody's positive, vibrant,
Mhm,
happy, right?
mhm.
Everybody's working hard. It's
Mhm.
not really. I call it us firefighters, right? So we really don't want to have to put out fires every day, but of course, if we have to, we put the hat on.
Right.
But ideal day looks like no fires. Just flowing, just
Mhm,
good, nice, clean work,
mhm.
um, fast work, just helping sell,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
And yeah, maybe a little fun in between. Again, like I told you, I'm big on like camaraderie and morale,
Right.
so I like I like a good workspace, nice good
Absolutely.
work energy too. All
Yeah.
while getting the job done.
Right, right, right. Absolutely. That's good. That's good. And do you have any special ways that you kind of help build that team mentality, that camaraderie with some of your peers and some of the people who report to you?
Oh yeah, I joke a lot.
Hmm.
I might laugh a lot too, and kind of just like sometimes I may throw like little brain teasers or like riddles in the chat to kind of get people going, thinking a little bit, give them like a little second away from maybe an email they're working on,
Hmm.
just so they can have like a woosah moment. See,
Yeah.
I'm always doing something like that, or maybe dropping a little pic or something so for someone to laugh.
Right.
Or I like to walk around the pod with my stress ball.
Oh
Then I
yeah.
kind of do like I would say pop quiz. So maybe I'll just ask a question about something that I recently covered with them, or a process that maybe recently have rolled out, and then we'll do like little games like that.
Nice. Nice. That's
And
good.
they're receptive. They tend to like it,
Yeah,
or they
yeah.
laugh at me. So either way is good.
Either way, right? You put a smile on somebody's face, and I think
Exactly.
that's good, right?
That's a win for me every day.
Exactly, exactly. Especially with, in the telecommunications space, right? Everything is so, in some ways mission critical, right? Even whether you're in sales, whether you're in engineering, whether you're
Hmm.
in, whatever space that you're kind of in, or IT space,
Hmm.
whichever, everything sometimes feels like it's so mission critical. So to be able to, have someone who's a leader, right? Who understands like I might be a little stressed out. If you looked over and you haven't seen me look away from my computer in an hour, check on me.
Hmm.
Check on. I need. Blink twice if you're okay, right? Because
Hello.
I'm dug in, right? And so to have that, and like you said, that helps you build camaraderie too. I think that's great.
Yeah, that's a good piece I think about being a leader too, knowing your people. Like we
Mhm,
talked about, like knowing your audience. So like you
mhm,
said, everybody needs their own like version of me in a sense. So
mhm,
I can see some hey, you want to, get up for a walk, or like you said, I might joke with somebody,
mhm.
I don't know, bump into somebody, throw a little ball or something, just you
Right.
want a piece of candy, just any kind of thing to kind of get them maybe again, just a little quick breather
Yeah.
off of whatever task that they're on. And just let them know that I'm human, I'm there. I was
Yeah.
there too. And,
Yeah.
we can figure it out together if need be.
Exactly. Exactly. So this next question I'm going to ask, it gets a little bit more into some of the technical pieces that come along with your job. And this is really more for people who may want to potentially be in this field or in this particular position one day, right? And so,
Mm-hmm.
what types of tools and technologies do you use on a day-to-day basis? You don't have to get too deep in the weeds. I know some of the stuff is proprietary, but
Yeah, yeah.
like, just kind of like, what things would you say, hey, if you wanted to do this one day, you might want to look up this tool and maybe go and check on YouTube and see how some of this stuff works, right? And again, I know some of the stuff is like, I can't really talk about that, but
Yeah.
there are some things, just kind of umbrella things that you can talk about.
Now let's see. I think we used I think we can talk about this because I think a lot of people I've seen a lot of different companies use it for different reasons,
Hmm.
maybe.
Hmm.
So we use this particular program, what do you say, called Salesforce.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
And that's kind of like our really the meat and potatoes of what we do. In a nutshell, everything is we kind of work out of there.
Yeah.
So anything that we need to really do outside of like other little systems that may help us check on, if we have to verify uh what you want to say, like footprints for services or things like that. We have different tools of that sort, but that particular tool is what we use to kind of just manage what the sales is wanting to sell
Right.
essentially, and just kind of making sure that it's moving along properly and going through the proper channels to make sure that everything's get implemented properly.
Absolutely, absolutely. And so it's it's funny that you brought that one up because
Hmm.
if you say Salesforce to a person who works at company A, and then that
Yeah.
person's like, oh yeah, Salesforce to a person at company B,
Uh huh.
they're using the same platform, but it's two
Uh huh.
completely different
Yeah.
pieces of software.
Agree.
It's funny, and you don't think about it. So I've had now a couple. I've only worked, got two different telecom companies now, and both of them use Salesforce. And yeah,
Hmm.
I didn't realize that there was more than one Salesforce,
Hmm.
right? That
Hmm.
it's the same platform, but you can mix and match so many different things, and it's a really good program. And I always, if there's some other programs, from a technical standpoint, like
Yeah.
SolarWinds, that I'm always like, hey, check out SolarWinds, or
Hmm.
or things like that, so you can learn some of the engineering side. But I'm like, if you want to know something about CRM, start there. Start at
Oh
Salesforce,
yeah. Oh
because
yeah.
everybody uses it and it's different for everybody. So yeah, I think that's a good one. That's a good one. So yeah, I may have waited a little late to ask you this, but yeah, this is an important one. Tell me, how are you involved with Namic? And then I might should have asked you that at the beginning. But yeah, how are you involved with Namic? And then how did you get involved too?
Sure. So I currently am the programming chair for Namic St. Louis. So I'm the head of, again, like all events that we put on as a chapter. So any of the, webinars, seminars, again, I'm kind of part of that planning team that gets, that gets those good events out to you guys. So we love to see you there.
Hmm.
Quick plug. Um, but as far as how I got involved, I believe I was kind of just doing some research, like on BRG groups within the organization. And again, just kind of me wanting to feed my success, feed my appetite for growth and development. I was able to identify a couple of ones that I thought was a good fit for me. And then I actually talked to the current president at the time. I guess it was kind of in the middle of like a transition period
Hmm.
because I was able to kind of like talk to the president at the time, and then I was able to become programming chair by having some conversations, kind of getting my thoughts and ideas out there, kind of asking me, what I wanted or why I was interested. In a nutshell, kind of what I just briefly told you,
Hmm.
and then it kind of just went from there. And this is my second year, I believe,
Yeah.
being able to hold that. So yeah, I
Okay.
love it. I love what we do, what we stand for. And again, I'm all about growth and professional development. So being a part of this organization is great. It's just that being able to network and meet great people, have kind of different things like this, being able to kind of hear different people's stories, and again, just get some insight on things that they went through and their whole journey. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's great. Name it is great. It's been great for me, and I'm just looking forward to everything that we continue to do.
I agree. Yeah, I fully agree. I'm, definitely the same here. Being able to, be part of this community has been great for me. Meeting you, meeting, the other people and just in the leadership, and then, just some of the members too. It's been great. So I fully agree with you there.
Absolutely.
All right. So now we'll move a little bit into some, pie in the sky, crystal ball kind of stuff. Um,
Okay.
and I'm not sure how much I'm not sure how much you kind of think about this in a way. I think
Hmm.
that you know sometimes it's like when you think about communications and stuff like that, sometimes it's like, okay, well, this is my job. And then some people, right, especially like people like yourself are like, okay, well, I'm a leader though. So I have to make sure that I'm good, but I also have a team, right?
Right.
So so can you tell me anything about kind of what your thoughts are on the future of, kind of telecommunications or, just the industry? You don't have to get into any too deep details if you unless you want to, which I'd be more than happy to hear. But do you have any thoughts on that?
I think future of communications to me, what it looks like now, and what I like again, what I think to come is like more intelligent interactions. I really kind of see the like AI is really just making its way
Mm,
full throttle, I think. So
hmm
you know how we have like those like the chat boxes and like the smart assistants. I think
hmm
that's kind of where we're headed, like kind of a little bit where we are, but where we're headed. Like some I know some companies and even my particular organization, we have some like what you call them, like bots for certain different things, depending on whatever project or whatever,
hmm
whatever's going on. So I see that now, that space. So I kind of think that it's gonna just keep taking off from there, really.
Oh yeah. Yeah, agreed. Agreed. Yeah, we're moving probably. I was gonna say 100 miles an hour, probably faster than that.
Absolutely.
Toward a lot of those technological changes. It's all happening really fast. It can be exciting, but it can
Yeah.
also be a little bit scary sometimes too.
Ooh, scary for sure. Scary for
And kind of with that being the case, right? Do you have any advice that you might have for like someone who's a newcomer to the field, or even somebody who's in the field, right? Like, or what would you tell your team? Like, if you're having a team meeting, like, hey, these are some of the changes that are coming down the pipe. Here's some things to be prepared for. Kind of how would
sure.
you help some of these newcomers or people be prepared for some of these changes in your mind?
I kind of tell everybody how, like, I'll walk with, remember how I talked about being a sponge. So I kind of like
Hmm.
give that to everybody.
Yeah.
Always just be willing to soak up whatever,
Hmm.
soak up anything that you can. Be easy to adapt to whatever situation or whatever kind of, thing that you're in.
Yeah.
Move with the cheese. That's kind of, it's one of my favorite books, actually, Who Moved My Cheese. But again, that kind of just speaks to being able to adapt to change quickly at that and being open to it. Like some people kind of naturally reject change or, have like a negative thought when it comes to change, but
Mhm.
it's not always bad, right?
Yeah.
Changes can be good, different, fresh. So I just say be able to move with the cheese.
Move with the cheese. I like that. I like that. Move with the cheese. Okay. I'm gonna have to check that book out too. You said it, that's what it's called.
Yes, who
Okay.
moved my cheese? Great book, great book.
Okay. Yeah, I like that. I was gonna ask you too about some book recommendations. So that's perfect.
Well, that's my one right there.
Good. I have to figure something else out in there. Throw in there too. And so you kind of gave that right there. I think was a really good piece of advice, right? So just kind of
Mhm.
career advice. As
Yeah.
far as getting into the industry and then being prepared for changes in the industry.
Mhm.
Um, for just more specifically, right? Because yeah, I didn't know if I want to if it's okay if I throw this in or not. But you're not just involved in AMIC, right? You're involved in other groups too, aren't you?
Correct. I'm a member of WIC as well, WIC
Okay,
Midwest.
right. So and just kind of in with that, right? Like you're involved in AMIC, you're involved with WIC, right? Do you have anyone kind of specifically, maybe like you, right? If you had to speak to someone or your younger self specifically, right? Is there any advice that you would give in that sense?
Yes. So, well, a couple of different things. One I touched on earlier. Allow yourself to be new. To be a student, it's okay to be a student. It's okay to continue being a student while you're mastering certain things, or while in the midst of all that. I also say stay consistent. You gotta go. You gotta plan. Great. Keep on with it, and then just kind of being able to identify your strengths and then maximize on them. Like never stop feeding and fueling, different pieces of you. Again, even if you feel like, you may have got it all right here, never stop feeding it. Never stop fueling. Just kind of aim to be the best in all aspects. That's kind of how I operate. I just want to continue to grow. and continue to be the best in all spaces, everything that I touch.
Hey, that's it. That's it. I appreciate that. That's good. That's very good.
Of course.
All right. So you already gave your book recommendation. Are there,
Yes.
let me see. What about a movie recommendation? Do you have any movies that you like that you might recommend? Since we got
Hmm.
a good professional book.
And that's my professional book. Let me see. A movie. I don't know that I have like a movie that speaks to, this particular topic.
Well, I'm going to see Sinners this weekend. So
Okay. Okay.
I can't wait to see it. I'm a big Ryan Coogler and Michael B. Jordan fan. Everything they do together is gold at this point.
Gotcha. Well, I have a favorite movie. Lean on Me is my favorite movie, actually.
Oh, Lean on Me.
That's
Okay.
my all-time
Yeah.
favorite, all-time favorite. I think Coach Carter is a good movie.
Coach Carter's
Speaks to
good.
character.
It
So,
does. It does.
and
It
maybe
does.
Remember the Titans. That's a good movie too. So
I
those are my
just
favorite.
I just watched Remember the Titans the other night with the kids, and
Really?
yeah, I just watched it the other night, and you know, there's a bunch of stuff they don't understand about it, but they like the
Mm-hmm.
songs. Everywhere we go, they like the songs,
Uh-huh.
so they've been
Yeah,
singing
yeah.
that all week.
Love the movie.
Yeah, so good, so good. Well, is there anything else you wanted to touch on or talk about, DJ?
No, you've been great. Again, I appreciate you for having me, taking the time out to meet with me. And then
No,
again, we look forward to seeing everybody at our events coming up.
no, absolutely, yeah. And no, it's same here. This has been an honor for me, and yeah, that part, right? Yeah, please, come see
Please
us.
join me.
Yeah, please come see us. We have some really cool stuff in store, courtesy of our program person, right? So,
Hey.
thank you again, DJ, and this has been again a pleasure speaking with you, and look forward to speaking with you again.
My pleasure. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, listeners, for tuning in to today's episode. We hope you found it encouraging and insightful. With over 15 chapters nationwide, NAMIC is passionate about diversity, equity, and inclusion in the communications industry, with a wider range of professional development opportunities, networking events, and leadership programs. NAMIC is dedicated to empowering multi-ethnic diversity in the media and communications industry. Members gain access to valuable resources, industry insight, and an incredible community of like-minded professionals. For more information, go to NAMIC.com or to the NAMIC St. Louis chapter at NAMICSt.Louis.com or LinkedIn at LinkedIn.com/NAMIC St. Louis. Thank you and have a wonderful month. See you next time.